We're almost done with the first month of 2016, and there's been plenty going on around town. Westford's youth hockey team celebrated 3 championships. The Board of Health heard a contentious dispute over a home on Main Street, and next year's school budget remains unsettled. From Namnasset to Parker Village, it's time for WestfordCAT News. We start off with a local restaurant that may become a much larger chain. The Rangoli Grill announced this month that it's offering franchising opportunities for potential restaurateurs in the Northeast. Located in Cornerstone Square, Rangoli Grill combines Indian cuisine and an assembly counter format found in other chains like Subway and Chipotle. Rangoli Grill co-owner Gulshan Kumar believes potential locations in the Northeast would be optimal for supply chain logistics. However, locations elsewhere in the U.S. or Canada might be considered if the conditions are right. If new locations are open, the Westford store is expected to serve as a real-world testing laboratory where new menu items can be vetted by area customers. Gulshan told WestfordCAT News that there will be no other Rangoli Grill locations within 5 miles of Westford. A dispute between a landlord and a tenant came before the Board of Health this month after approximately 24 health code violations were discovered over the past several months. Westford Director of Environmental Services, Jeff Stephen, asked the board for deadlines on addressing the violations discovered at 164 Main Street, a home built in the 1700s, currently housing 3 tenants. The first infractions were reported by an unnamed tenant in August, and landlord Laura Kell was able to address some of the issues. However, the tenant continued to report more issues, some of which Kell thought to be unreasonable given the circumstances.
He moved in last November, November 13th. No complaints at all until June, and then, frankly, I've never had this happen. I have rented space over there for 17 years. I've had nuns, firemen, policemen, every person you can think of. Honest to God, I've had one couple that got divorced, but they had problems with each other. I've never had any of these problems. Usually it's just, let me know when you're leaving. I've never kept a deposit, like nothing.
Stephen did not recommend a deadline to the board, but indicated that the violations needed to be addressed despite the circumstances.
I can't turn my head the other way because there's a tenant that is, whether he's paying rent or not, we have an obligation to protect, regardless of what we think is happening there. So we've got to do our jobs. And when we're told that we're not going to do this, I'm forced to take some action. So I can't ignore it. There are things in life we'd all like to ignore, but I can't ignore in order to correct that I wrote.
The board was broadly empathetic to Kell's situation and was also confused at some of the details surrounding which violations. In a 4-0 vote, the board directed Stephen to provide additional details on the severity of each violation and which ones have been completed. The discussion is scheduled for the board's February meeting. A separate court case involving Kell and the tenant is scheduled to begin in February as well. On a lighter note, at the Board of Health meeting, Namnasset youngster Ryan Walsh received a reduced-cost residential kitchen permit. Better known to his friends as Wubs, Walsh hopes to operate a food truck one day. For now, he's selling water, Gatorade, and other items out of a bicycle-powered wagon near the old Nab Fields. Since beginning his business in the summer of 2015, he's earned about $400. Normally, a residential kitchen permit costs $100, and the board was set to discuss how much they could discount Walsh's permit, but they quickly learned that they could reduce that cost to nothing. The board unanimously approved waiving the fee, although the Board of Health member Student Hanley joked that in order to get her vote, Walsh would need to wear his helmet while riding his bicycle. A bomb threat was sent to dozens of high schools across the country the day after Martin Luther King Day. Westford's Neshoba Tech was one of those schools, but school and town officials were able to address the issue without any disruption to the school day. According to Neshoba Tech Superintendent Judith Klimkowitz, the automated Skype message was sent to the school at 8:50 a.m. and indicated that a backpack with explosives had been placed at a Boston area high school. Within minutes, school officials and Westford police members searched the school as students were in class. The threat was also reported to the Commonwealth Fusion Center, an information sharing organization for local, state, and federal law enforcement officials. The search concluded before the students changed classes and parents were notified immediately. Nearby, schools in Ayer, Tewksbury, Groton, and Billerica also received threats. The Neshoba Grizzlies won 3 District 8 championships on MLK weekend at the New England Sports Center in Marlborough. Neshoba's Pee Wee, AAA, and Squirt AAA teams defeated their respective Concord Carlisle opponents, while the Squirt AA team defeated Framingham. All 3 teams now advance to the state tournament in Springfield at the end of February. Good luck, guys. Sticking with sports, let's head to Dan Toomey and his latest Westford Academy sports update.
Greetings, this is Dan Toomey coming from the Westford Academy Athletic Department. Today's January 21st. We've been very busy and recently here at Westford Academy in the middle of the winter season. We just passed the midway point of the winter season, and so all the teams are finishing out the second half of the regular season. So good luck to everybody participating. Some highlights so far. Our girls ice hockey continues to play well, and they currently sit at 6-2-3. Boys hoop and girls hoop are doing very well. The boys hoop are 7-5, and the girls hoop are 8-3. Swimming and diving remains undefeated at this point. So they have a lot of quality wins so far, and they recently beat a good Wayland program. So good luck to them the rest of the way. Indoor boys and girls track continue to travel to Boston to the Reggie Lewis. Upcoming, they have an elite meet at the Reggie Lewis Center. So good luck to all those student athletes. Gymnastics continues to do well, competing against dual county league and area schools. They currently are 8-3, so good luck to the gymnastics the rest of the way. Before you know it, they'll have their league championship at MIT. Alpine ski opened up the season last week with the first regular season meet. Both teams finished first place at the first meet of the year, so good luck to them as they continue to compete at Neshoba Valley. And Nordic boys and girls had a good start to the season. The boys had a top 4 finish for the first time, and the girls had several strong performances on their squad as well. So good luck to all those programs. One special announcement that we do have coming up. On the 30th of January, the Westford Academy Athletic Boosters will be hosting a trivia night fundraiser at the at the Chelmsford Elks. And for more information, you can go to the wagregos.com website, where there's also a link to the Westford Academy Athletic Boosters website. So if you're looking to donate something or to buy tickets, you can visit the site there for more information. Again, we're in the middle of the winter season here, so good luck to all the student athletes, and I'll talk to you soon.
In early December, the selectmen told the public that they were likely not to exercise their right of first refusal on the Drew Gardens sale. And on January 12th, they made it official. Following negotiations with Groton resident Ebby Masaladon, who hopes to build a contemporary restaurant on the property, Masaladon purchased the property in October, but agricultural preservation restrictions on the property had a provision allowing the selectmen to void any sale and purchase the property for public use. After several weeks of discussion with Masaladon, the selectmen determined that it was in the town's best interest to let the sale go forward.
2 of the 3 parcels will be used for agricultural purposes, and you know, it's not really a whole lot going on there right now, so this should be a substantial improvement. There will still be a business component, as there was prior to all this, and it just seems to me, from a financial aspect and from a use and attractiveness and all of that, that this is as good a compromise of all the concerns as we could have come up with.
Town meeting voters will have to approve an amendment for one of the 3 agricultural preservation restrictions to allow the restaurant and its adjacent parking lot. The restaurant's also likely expected to require approval from the Planning Board, Zoning Board of Appeals, Board of Health, and other town agencies before opening. A company owned by Westford's Terry Moran was honored by the website Wedding Wire for the 6th year in a row this month. Moran's Crown Entertainment was a recipient of the website's 2016 Couples Choice Awards in the DJ category. The award is given in wedding-related companies rated within the top 5% of their specific fields by thousands of users on the Wedding Wire website. Hey, what's new in Westford schools? Superintendent Bill Olson is here to explain in his latest update.
Hi, this is Superintendent of Schools Bill Olson with another school system update. I'm pleased to say that about 2 weeks ago we had a very productive meeting with the Westford Finance Committee and the Westford Selectmen to review our budget for fiscal 2017. The Finance Committee and the Selectmen developed a number of excellent questions to understand in greater detail what is in our budget for fiscal 17. And we'll be appearing before the joint committees along with the school committee on February 11th for any follow-up questions. This is the time of year, it's midwinter time, about halfway through the school year. Lots of colds, coughs, flu of our staff and our students. And this is the time of year in particular where we're looking for well-qualified substitute teachers. So that if you can give us 1 or 2 days here and there, we'd love to hear from you. We'd like you to call our HR department and contact Michelle Duffett. Let her know that you might be interested in substitute teaching, even if you can give us a few days. As I said, we run a training program periodically for our substitutes so that you know what to expect in coming into our schools, and we make the day for the students as efficient and instructionally effective as possible. Recently, as you know, there have been a number of bomb threats that have been made to school systems across the state. I want you to know that our entire leadership team met with the Chief of Police last week. He talked about the procedures and protocols associated with varying levels of threat based on the threat assessment associated with any particular bomb threat. We want to make sure that we're prepared, that all staff know what to do with the students in the event of a threat, such a threat. And also we want the students to understand that if there is a bomb threat, that could potentially extend the length of the school year. If it's at a particular school, that school could be going to school 1 more day in the year at the end of the year than all of the others, and we have done that in the past. So we want to make sure that we're prepared, as I said, and I want to thank Chief Tom McInerney. I also want to thank Fire Chief Joe Togg for always helping us be as safe as we possibly can for our students and our staff. Both Joe and Tom are just outstanding public safety officials to work along with. One final note, several of our staff met with the Permanent Town Building Committee this week to talk about the master plan for the Westford Academy site, which includes visitors' bleachers, includes the resurfacing of the track, which is essential because it's delaminating at this point in time due to use and ultraviolet radiation. Looking at bathroom facilities that will be required in the future. Always things going on, keeping us busy, but we enjoy it and enjoy serving you as your superintendent. And look forward to seeing you and talking with you next time.
Thank you, Bill. Staying on the topic of schools, the Westford School Committee voted to recommend Superintendent Bill Olson's 2.78% school department budget increase for the fiscal year 2017. But they also directed Olson to investigate what the school budget would look like at Town Manager Jody Ross's recommended 2.5% increase. School Committee member Erica Cole stated that staying at 2.78% might create ill will due to the fact that other town departments are only expecting a 0.9% increase in their proposed budgets. Committee member David Keel said that his belief that the 2.7% increase represented Olson's view of what was needed for efficient operations, and also stated that the school committee should represent what's best for students before all else.
It is prudent for us to present what we deem to be the responsible budget, which is 2.78. when we make the presentation, this is what we feel we need. The conversations can continue to go, and they will continue to go. They won't stop. As a matter of fact, the conversations will perpetuate themselves by members of the public who will actually then get up at the microphone and make their analysis. So, are we the Westford School Committee, or are we the Westford Finance Committee, or are we the Westford Board of Selectmen? We are neither of the two latter. We're the Westford School Committee. And if we deem this to be the appropriate budget, it is our charge to vote for it.
The 2.78% budget recommendation and the 2.5% budget investigation were both approved 4-1, with Cole opposing the 2.78% budget recommendation and Keel opposing the 2.5% budget investigation. The Finance Committee will discuss the school budget again on February 11th. In our last episode, Assistant Town Manager John Mangiarotti introduced us to the Town Farm Building. This week, we'll follow up with our Parks and Recreation Department Director, Pat Savage.
So working in this historic building, it has some unique components. It's actually a larger space than what we had before when we were at 54 Broadway. We've been able to add in some activity space. We have our indoor rowing or ergs here for our crew program. We do some Tai Chi here and obviously have some meeting room space. So it has its little quirks, creaky noises every once in a while, and windows that sort of rattle, but it's, the building's 1837, 1838. You can see the bricking behind me, that's the original bricking. So, and the windows are the original windows that I'm aware of. So, principally, there were a number of actually previous studies done, and they just did the facility study back, and that came out in September of 2014, and identified close to $3 to $4 million worth of changes that needed to be made to bring the building up to code. For example, the ADA requirements, like you can get into the building, but there's stairs to go up and the bathrooms are not accessible. We would make accommodations as needed. The other, the septic system, it's a cesspool as opposed to a septic system. Some of the engineers or people that came in actually stopped identifying things because it was just getting too long a lengthy a list. So that's pretty much it. Some of it's cosmetic. How we deal with it, I deal with anything that becomes a safety or issue for our staff. We had the heating systems checked, which is just typical maintenance. I have the fire things checked every year. So the typical maintenance stuff continue. If there's any, we just replace some broken glass and windows to help shore up the heating. We have 4 heating systems, 2 basements, 2 attics. I mean, it's an old, multiple buildings within this structure. So,
a few years ago, there was some talk about putting the rec department just north of the Stony Brook School. Would that be your ideal location, or is there any ideal location?
That is one possible location because there is municipal land there. It would be limited because the acreage is limited. It's ideal in that there's parking there. It's right by the middle school. It would give the opportunities to address some of the activities for middle school. Teenagers are probably the toughest population to provide some leisure pursuits because they're too old to be in certain programs and too young to be in other programs. So it would be ideal to be able to have some kind of teen component if we were located at that Veterans Memorial / Stony Brook Middle School. So there's not a lot of space out there, but the Recreation Commission currently is starting to work with the Permanent Town Building Committee to identify possible land space, possible leasing, possible ownership of commercial buildings, but that's not nothing concrete at this time.
Hey, what's the weather look like? Westford Academy's Joe Seppi has that answer. Take it away, Joe.
Hello, Westford. This is Joe Seppi with weather forecast for this weekend and first week of February. This weekend, it will be dry and partly sunny, with a high of 39 degrees on Saturday and 50 degrees on Sunday. The low both days will be around 32 degrees. On Monday, it will be partly sunny, with a high of 54 degrees and a low of 31 degrees. On Tuesday, it's Groundhog Day. It will be sunny with a few afternoon clouds. The high will be around 51 degrees and the low will be around 30 degrees. On Wednesday, there may be some freezing rain early before it changes over to rain in the afternoon. There will be a high of 51 degrees and a low of 34 degrees. On Thursday, it will be partly cloudy with a high of 39 degrees and a low of 24 degrees. On Friday, we will see some sunny skies with clouds moving in later in the day. The high will be around 35 degrees and a low around 21 degrees. That is the Westford weather. Have a great week, everyone.
And filling in for Town Manager Jody Ross, here's Assistant Town Manager John Mangiarotti with an update from the Town Manager's office.
Hello, hi everyone. I'm John Mangiarotti. I'm the Assistant Town Manager, and I'm here for the first installment of the Town Manager's Report for 2016. There's a lot of exciting things happening in town. Hope you have had a chance to look at the Town Manager's newsletter. School websites are continuing to rank our school system in the top 10. Just this month, the schooldigger.com rated us number 3 in the entire state. Niche.com put us in the top 10 as well. And so we're very proud of that, and it's a great job that our school department does with our families in town. We're featured in the Boston Sunday Globe on January 3rd. Unfortunately, it was the day that they didn't deliver more than 4,000 papers, but we think that a lot of people were able to enjoy the feature and said some great things about Westford, and it's nice to be recognized for the great town that we have. We also were recognized in the Mass Municipal Association for our AM radio station. Unfortunately, we haven't had any emergency situations this year, but if we do, we encourage you to tune in AM 1630, and we'll provide you with updates on things you need to know about power outages or street closures or other concerns that you may have. Annual town meeting is coming up, April 2nd. The warrant is going to be closing very soon, and the selectmen will be voting on the 26th to close the warrant and start reviewing the articles. We encourage you to attend town meeting. It's going to be a great day. It's on a Saturday. And some of the exciting things we'll be looking at are the Drew Gardens property has recently had a purchase and sales agreement, and the selectmen voted not to exercise their right of first refusal. Part of the process for the developer to do what he's intending to do with the site is for town meeting to approve a change to the preservation restriction on the property. So stay tuned for that, and there'll also be some selectmen's hearings leading up to that, so we encourage you to check it out. And finally, please download our Town Manager's newsletter and check out our social media accounts, WestfordMA_TM if you're on Twitter, or you can find us on Facebook by looking for the Town Manager's office. Thanks a lot.
And here's Rekha Sharma with another health tip.
Hello everyone, I'm Rekha Sharma back with a new health tip for WestfordCAT News. Today I'm going to talk about asparagus. It is a rich source of vitamin A, C, E, K and folate. It enhances the ability of insulin to transport glucose from the bloodstream into the cells. The folate content may help ward off depression by preventing an excess of homocysteine from forming in the body, as excess homocysteine interferes with the production of hormones that give you a sense of well-being, prevents osteoporosis, and it is also anti-cancerous. People who are taking blood thinners should avoid asparagus. Others can add some in their diet to get the benefits. Bye for now.
What's coming up on Westford's event calendar? Emily Benson returns this week to give us another look. Take it away, Emily.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Westford! Are you ready to celebrate in style? The Franco-American Club is going to be the host of the St. Patrick's Day Luncheon. It begins at 10:30 a.m. on March 17th, They're gonna be serving corned beef, cabbage, they're gonna have Irish music. It's gonna be a really fun time. Watch out, if you're not wearing green, they may not let you in. But actually they might. They're a pretty fun group over there. So wear green, it'll make it more fun, and everyone loves a good St. Patrick's Day luncheon. This event only costs $7, but you need to get your tickets before March 7th so they save a seat for you. For more information, just call 978-692-5523. Okay, I know it's winter, but we're all getting our garden minds on to get excited for the spring. Are you thinking about adding maybe some extra zest to your salad, or you're thinking about growing organic fruits and vegetables in your backyard, or maybe this is the year you want to develop that green thumb? Don't worry, you're in luck. In collaboration with the Westford Agricultural Committee, Jody Gilson of Gilson Greenhouses will be on hand to present a talk and demonstration on a variety of gardening styles. This is going to happen on February 23rd, that's a Tuesday, at the J.V. Fletcher Library at 7 p.m. Everyone's welcome, and it's a free event, so why not stop by? Speaking of the library, that J.V. Fletcher Library famous book sale is coming up, guys. So it starts on Friday, February 5th. That night is for members only, but if you'd like to join and become a friend of the library, they will let you right in the door with that membership. On Saturday and Sunday, you can scour through over 15,000 books, CDs, DVDs, cassettes, vinyls, you name it, they have got it. So on Saturday, stop by from 10 to 5, and on Sunday, hot tip for you, everything is half price. So from 2 to 4 on Sunday, you'll get all the steals and deals. Last but not least is the highlight of the winter season. The Chocolate Festival returns to St. Mark's on Saturday, February 6th from 1 to 4. Local restaurants, retailers, and chocoholics will be providing a wide assortment of delicious treats that will make your taste buds super happy. They might make your scale angry, but don't worry. Half the proceeds go to local pantries, so your heart will be happy, and that's what's important, right? All right, guys, tickets cost $5 for that event. That's a pretty good deal. So call 978-692-7849 to get your tickets. Have fun this winter, Westford.
That's all for this edition of WestfordCAT News. We leave you with scenes from the PAC 102 Pinewood Derby. See you in February, Westford.